Hello again. I hope you're having an on-passive day that just is, couldn't get any better. I know that mine is. It's blue sky and sunshiny here, about 55 degrees, and life is good. So I hope you're having a very phenomenal on-passive day. My name's Jeffrey, and in this video, I want to describe on-passive like it's probably never been described before, and put a little context in there too. Now, in part one, because there's going to be two parts, I want to give you my take on the underlying operational philosophy, if you will, of the heart, right, in on passive as it concerns the goal of lifting humanity. So, if you're living in your right brain, uh, if you're somebody with a good heart, somebody that's relatively awake, or even identify as a light worker, you may like part one. Then, for the rest of us that live in the left side of our brain, so to speak, and we want a more logical approach to decision making when it comes to online businesses and online uh, tools and services and such, in part two, I'm going to be laying out the more tangible 10-point business plan, right, that Mr. Mufara came up with years ago. And I'm going to start by explaining where it came from. I'm going to explain what the points of it are. And then I'm going to also explain how OnPassive fulfills each of the 10 points that are in that plan. So hopefully it'll all turn out okay. There have been a lot of paradigm shifts that have brought us to where we are as related to doing the things that we do. The way that we manage our lives, the way that we manage organizations. And these shifts, these changes, if you will, are all having an evolutionary effect on literally every facet of our lives. In other words, these changes are causing us and our environment to evolve in one way or another. um, One of these shifts, a big one, has been motivated by spirit or quantum realm or spiritual realm, whatever you want to call that. And it's causing an awakening, in a way, to not only understanding who we are, right, in creation, but that we're all connected in creation. And this shift that we're not only going through, but we're actually participating in, um, it can only be described as raising of the human consciousness, which is what we're going to talk a little bit about. Now, this started in the late 80s with what we called the harmonic convergence. That was the name given to one of the world's, or actually, yeah, one of the world's first globally synchronized meditation events. But the shift really kicked into gear shortly after 2012, or right around the 2012 timeframe. And there are lots of reasons for this change, and all of them have to do something with frequency, since everything in creation, from quarks to quasars, have frequency, and all frequency carries information. Now, some of these frequencies, some of these uh, catalysts for change, if you will, can be measured in the physical world, in the physics of things. Things like the new energy field that Earth entered because of our position in the Milky Way, um, changes in the heliosphere, changes in the Earth's magnetic grid. All of these things um, help to do the change mechanism that we're all working through, right? And if you're not sure what I mean, that's okay. By referencing a raise in human consciousness, I'm just saying that this shift has lots of people working unselfishly for the benefit of others. It has us working together for the greater good of humanity. The point is, the more we get our minds off of ourselves and onto others, the higher our energy gets and the faster our consciousness evolves. Quite literally, I mean, it evolves. Put another way, without trying to sound too woo-woo, the higher the frequency of the subtle energy that marks our consciousness gets, faster we become godlike, which is to operate from unconditional love. That's all I mean by that. All right, so don't get weird on me. Now, obviously, the work being done in this particular shift involves the quantum, or as I said earlier, the spiritual side of things, to include focusing on each other rather than self, and knowing life is based on connectedness and mutual benefit. In this, we find answers from within, right? From that place that we go to when we listen to our heart, uh, in a way, um, our heart space, if you will. And we can't really do a good job about talking about on passive if we don't include these types of conversations, because on passive is coming from that heart space, and its CEO, Ash Mufaro, is one such powerful force relative to other light workers on the planet, that is. And he is propelling us to higher consciousness with his efforts. Now, the mechanism through which he works is on passive. And for the sake of clarity, the type of light worker I'm referring to here are people that have high vibrational spirits, meaning they operate probably more than the rest of us from love, and they drive themselves and the people around them forward in a way. And they serve humanity as a whole and on individual levels. So that's what I mean. And that's what Mr. Mufara does, and that's what he's been doing for a long time. Uh, um, and driving that spiritual evolution is part of what Onpassive is doing as well. As a matter of fact, part of our spiritual evolution has given rise to what is called conscious business. Now, there's an author named Fred Kaufman, and he wrote a book called Conscious Business: How to Build Value Through Values. Um, in it, he says that consciousness is the main source of organizational greatness. Now, in my opinion, that sounds like a book that Mr. Mofara could have written. And, well, anyway, in an age of hybrid technologies, we could say that a conscious business is a hybrid business having normal product and profit aspects of business, but its core operating philosophy is more new age in that it has empathy and understanding, okay? Meaning that it cares about people and the world. And the world is going in this direction because conscious business is business that has the intention of producing positive impacts on humanity and the planet. Now, conscious business is a manifestation of the shift that we're talking about. It has intention weaved right into the fabric of the quilt, right, of our vision and purpose, and it's part of the strategy for accomplishing the company's goals. Now, OnPassive is that kind of business built on a movement representing that kind of connectedness. It's helping to raise human consciousness on the one side through its heart, right, for the greater good. That's the conscious business part. It's also helping people meet their needs to live with and share economic abundance on the other side through its corporate structure and business solutions. And to this end, OnPassive CEO has merged compassion with technology in the OnPassive business model to form a company whose vision is to lift humanity through compassionate action. Now, around June of 2019, our CEO coined the term AI with heart to describe that particular merger, right? That operational philosophy. Now, that CEO's name is obviously Mr. Ash Mufareh, and he has repeatedly demonstrated that compassion and generosity through life and business for many years. Now, he's a family man. He's university educated with a master's of IT and e-commerce. He's a marketer, online marketer extraordinaire, if you will. And he has been a man and is a man that has been very successful in business and in life. And he is a man that has a heart as big as a whole outdoors. So, like many of us, though, Mr. Mufareh's personal online experience, well, he's been through it, right? I mean, he's been slandered and lied and cheated and stolen from and all those other things that you and I probably have too if you've spent any time trying to do any online business. But despite his best efforts, and he tried, he could find no system or platform available that could be trusted to consistently do what was ethically or morally right most of the time, much less all the time. And these experiences that he had created in him the desire for a clean, fresh business model that everyone could be proud of, right? That's built on the principles of connectedness and mutual benefit and is able to provide a legacy for those that would choose, excuse me, those that would choose to join. Now, before I get into the actual layout of the business plan and the history leading up to it, I want to show you the steadfastness of heart that runs hot beneath Onpassive's vision statement. You see, about the same time he came up with the phrase AI with heart, Mr. Mufara also came up with the Onpassive vision statement, which underscores the conscious intent for the greater good and is brought to focus in the last line of that statement as sustaining the benefits of a global stimulus plan. Now, here it is, the Onpassive vision statement. Onpassive is the ultimate, complete, and unique digital marketing platform that ensures everyone succeeds, regardless of their background or ability, by offering the simplest environment with the highest standards and the most value while sustaining the benefits of a global stimulus plan. I want to leave you with that, and I want to thank you so very, very much. I certainly do appreciate you listening. If you get a chance, please go to onpassive.com. Check us out. There's lots of information there. You can also pre-register and get some free products and start using them. There's going to be better versions of them or more functionality coming out with them shortly. So go take a look. But whatever you do, please, I'd like you to be on the lookout for part number 2 of this, which is the 10-point business plan that you can see the front page for here. And just keep in mind that if anything is good, anything excellent, that we're supposed to think on those things, and just know that we just wish blessing and blessing for you and for your family. Thank you. Bye.